Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to my part 2 of Cheddar Flow video. Before we get started, I just want to remind you that we have a free course called Learn How to Win 90% of Your Trades in Just 90 Seconds. You'll find a link for that in the description below. And let's get started with Cheddar Flow. So if you guys saw my first part of this, I went through the options flow panel that you can see right here. So this is the main screen that you use for the flow sentiment. So I talked about that and all about the sort of split and sweep and blocks and things like that. And overall I did actually quite like it, but I found it lacking a little bit in terms of actionable advice, right? So you can try and look at these things, but it's difficult to really gauge, like, should I buy something based on this? Or it's just a little bit clunky, and it takes a lot of experience before you can use option flow properly, right? So it's not a just plug and play type of thing. And this is on the cheap subscription. You only get the options flow stuff. You don't get any of the dark pool or the stuff I'm going to talk about today, which is the power alert. So I signed up for the full subscription. I think it's $99 a month, and that includes these power alerts that you can see on the right here, and also the stuff like the dark pool levels and things. I'm going to leave the dark pool levels for a different video and just focus on the power alerts. So on the dashboard here, the power alerts are up the top right here. So you can see this little icon right here, and that pulls up this channel on the right. Hopefully you guys can read some of this. I'll go through them. Anyway, this is the documentation for the new and improved power alerts. It was last year, it was updated. And it just talks a little bit about what they are. It doesn't go into much detail though, so I'm not completely sure what we're looking at here. So you can see how they say we've released our new and improved intelligent option alert system. We're proud to introduce features that help users analyze real-time data. But by gathering feedback from version 1 and 2, we've been able to improve our algorithm logic. So this is supposed to be like an AI type thing with an algorithm. And also add in a wealth of new data to give you a more comprehensive view of what's going on. So it's supposed to empower users with rich information that can be used to inform and improve their trading strategies. The system is not intended to be used as a standalone trading bot. So they're saying you shouldn't really trade off these ideas alone, that they should be part of your system. And that's true for dark pool alerts, it's true for options flow, it's true for everything pretty much. You just add into your system. So this article goes on to talk a little bit about what the options power alerts are. But let me just show you on the dashboard itself right here, like how easy these are to use. And I really like this feature. I think it's definitely much more user-friendly than just looking at the flow itself. So on the right here, you can see that 3 days ago, we had a bullish alert, and this was for the ticker PDD, and it was actually 0 DTE. So these contracts that were obviously being spotted by the algorithm for whatever reason, and we're not really sure, maybe it was huge flow, maybe it was huge flow plus dark pool on the underlying PDD. We're not really sure because they don't kind of tell us that, and maybe because it's proprietary. But these calls we're suggesting as an alert were 140 calls at $1. And so those actually expired completely worthless. They never hit 140. It went up, just kind of went sideways all day. So this was kind of a dud. So it says bullish, that's obviously the direction that they were expecting. It gives you the time. And if you click on the ticker here, it pops up this box right here, and you can see what the contracts actually did. So the power alert was where this blob is, or circular filled in circle. So you can see really it just decayed down to nothing. So this one was a complete dud. If you scroll down, you can see some of the other stuff related to it. So you get the ticker, you get the expiration date on these particular options they're suggesting, the strike price, the price of the options at the time was $1, the premium, the call size, the volume, and some of the alert details. So obviously we're down 98%. It's expired, pretty much worthless at the moment, and updated volume. And then you have this trade tracker here, and you want to see these bars being green, right? This one was definitely a dud. So that was 3 days ago. So you can get a feel for the frequency here. There's been nothing today so far. It's just been the weekend. That's why this was 3 days ago. So this was Friday. It's Monday at the moment. So 4 days ago, which would be last Thursday, there was quite a few alerts here. Let's look. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it was 3. And then the day before that, there was another one. The day before that, there was 1. The day before that. So you're looking at 1 to 3 a day of these types of alerts. A couple of things to note about these. One, there is no exit notification. So these are just contracts that are of interest to you. So it's a bit like just filtering out the options flow over here, but these are obviously cherry-picked using their proprietary algorithm. So this one was KWAB. Went up 41% so far. And you can see the expiration here is always very useful because it gives you an idea of how quickly that this might move. And so this one is only 1 day out. So tomorrow this expires, 37 calls, and you can see we're up 41% on this so far. So people would be doing really well. Obviously I didn't take this alert, but you can see like this was the price here, and it peaked actually earlier today. The thing that's a bit weird is the time scales off a little bit. It's not past 4 o'clock because the market would be closed. So I'm not sure what time zone these people are using. It almost suggests it's, I don't know, it's very strange. So that's definitely something I noticed, is the time scales off on the bottom. But the information's good. It started off, the price was 74 cents for these contracts, and now they're over $1 for the contract. You can see these green bars here showing the day's increase in the price. So this is another example of one. You can see that some of these have worked really well so far. This one is actually longer dated, so you got to be really careful with the expiration if you're using these for short-term trades. This one's dated 2026, so AAL for 2026. So you're not going to see much movement on that, most likely. So there's a SPY one. There's been some really nice ones. KWAB here 5 days ago. You can see these were the 33 calls expiring tomorrow, and they're up 553%, which is pretty amazing. Now, there is no track record for these because, again, it seems like they want to have these be like an extra support to your strategy, not a standalone strategy, which is a bit misleading given that they call them power alerts, and people are signing up to buy and sell on alerts, which is typical in this industry. But you can see this one moved really nicely, and scrolling through the different sort of alerts here, you can see that a lot of them have done pretty well. There's another 138%, and there's a minus 11%, but there's expiration on IWM here is not for another 2 weeks, so this could still be a profitable alert. Like I said, the one drawback is that there is no exit alert, so you have to be able to gauge for yourself what to do with this data, and that's really in line with everything else that Cheddar Flow has. If you want to sign up for Cheddar Flow, then I would suggest checking out the link in the description below. If you want these particular power alerts, you're going to have to go with the more expensive subscription. It's $99 a month. From looking at these, it's hard to gauge with the small sample size, but so far these look really good, especially the lower price contracts. And they actually say this in the documentation, that the lower price contracts often do better than the higher price contracts for some reason. Not quite sure why. Maybe it's volume, who knows. But you can see like this one was only 39 cents and it went up 553% recently. So yeah, so these power alerts are really good. Like I said, I've reviewed the options flow stuff. In my next video, I'm going to talk about the dark pool levels, and we'll see what we have to see in that. And hopefully this is something that interests you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.